Hello viewers, welcome back with me Anissa Pratiwi in BBC News Today, Tuesday, June 17, 2014, bringing you the latest report and news from all over the world. And here is the headline. Indonesia economy expand more than expected in the second quarter as domestic consumption helped over decline in demand of export. Economy set low interest rates, stable consumer price growth, and strong consumer and business confidence have helped push domestic demand. Domestic consumption account for almost 60% of Indonesia's overall economy. As a result, demand for commodities is expected to slow, resulting in a fall in price which may hurt Indonesia's growth.
A little bit of Silicon Valley in Jakarta. This is a typical day at the office of Indonesian startup Kopro. Most of the people who work here are below the age of 30. They're the faces of Indonesia's new economy. Satya Witola is a local success story. He sold this business to Yahoo, the first Indonesian tech firm to get snapped up by a foreign company. But even in this new age economy, he's had to deal with an old Indonesian problem.
A few years ago, when me and my friends started this company, we had to register our company through a long procedure where there's lots of steps, and every step we have to pay something. Sometimes it's according to the law, sometimes we're not sure of. But we're Indonesian and we're quite used to that.
Corruption and red tape are holding Indonesia back. It's thought that these problems cost the economy $800 million in losses a year. One of the worst affected areas is infrastructure.
Indonesia desperately needs more roads, ports and highways for this economy to see its full potential. But infrastructure projects here often don't even get off the ground. This was supposed to be Jakarta's urban monorail system, which would have gone a long way towards solving the traffic gridlock in this city. But it was abandoned because of legal issues and funding difficulties.
The government acknowledges that these problems make it tough for Indonesia to compete in the region, but says it's a work in progress.
It took Hong Kong 30 years to eradicate corruption. It's simply unrealistic for anybody in this world to expect Indonesia to be able to eradicate corruption in 3 to 6 months. We have put hundreds of people in jail on corruption charges in the past 6 years. And I think it's important for people to understand, and the trajectory has been corroborated by a significant increase in how we've been able to attain investment realizations.
But that progress may not be good enough to give millions of young Indonesians a chance to better their lives. Suparman came to Jakarta 2 weeks ago from Central Java to find work building roads or on a construction site. But he told me he's had to resort to scavenging because he can't find a decent job. Indonesia may be one of the region's fastest growing economies, but it desperately needs to fix its problems with corruption and red tape for that growth to have an impact on its people, so that some of Indonesia's newfound wealth can reach here too. Karishma Vaswani, BBC News, Jakarta.
An official result from quick counts in the Indonesian capital, Jakarta, indicate that Joko Widodo has won a lead in election for a new governor. The mayor of Solo, Central Java, leads over incumbent Fauzi Bowo in polls seen as a key indicator for how the polls might vote in the 2014 general polls.
Jakarta, the capital of Southeast Asia's largest economy, paralyzed. Floods last week turned even the usually immune central business district into a sea of muddy water, highlighting the basic infrastructure problems Jakarta hasn't been able to fix for decades. This man, in a red baseball cap surveying the damage, is Jakarta's new governor, Joko Widodo. He's only been in the job for 100 days, but is already under pressure to show that he's up to it.
I have declared a state of emergency. We need to take steps that haven't been taken before, like building deep tunnels or a big dam. This is the capital city.
Jakarta's urban poor are undoubtedly the worst affected by the annual floods.
This area regularly gets flooded every single year during Jakarta's annual rainy season. Residents here often complain that nobody pays any attention to them, and the problem just keeps getting worse year after year. But this time, with a new Jakarta governor in place, someone they feel they helped to put in power, many here are hoping things will be different.
Suhendra has lived here for decades and says his home and small shop are inundated with floodwaters every year. But he's convinced that Mr. Widodo will look after those who helped him get into power.
I'm not disappointed in him yet. He's only been in the job for 3 months, not a full year. But I hope he can solve the flood problem.
But it's not just floods the new governor has to deal with. Never-ending traffic jams are a part of daily life in Jakarta. To fix this, Mr. Widodo has recently announced plans to build a mass rapid transport system. But do Jakartans think it will solve the problem?
It seems to me that the monorail, or MRT, will be for the benefit of the rich people, not the poor people.
I think it's a great idea because there are too many cars and motorcycles in the city. There's not enough space.
Mr. Widodo is constantly on the local news. People here see him as a hero, but always being in the spotlight has its disadvantages. If he doesn't act fast to fix Jakarta's problems, he risks disappointing the people who are counting on him to make a difference. Karishma Vaswani, BBC News, Jakarta.
We will make decisions as swiftly as possible, but the implementation obviously takes time. For example, the flood problem. It's a problem that hasn't been solved in the past 30 years. How can I solve it in 100 days? We have a program to dredge the rivers. We will expedite and expand it. We will build infiltration wells to reduce the flow of surface water and improve the groundwater. Our target is to build 10,000 wells this year. We are also in the process of building deep tunnels. But all of these things take time. We will build a monorail and MRT as soon as possible. We don't need to have more discussions about it. The public has been waiting long enough. We will also improve the bus transportation system. In terms of policies, we will aim to cut back on the number of cars on the roads using a license plate number system. We will roll out the electronic road pricing scheme and increase parking taxes. All of this will hopefully reduce traffic jams. I think it's a matter of leadership. Things haven't got done because there are too many conflicting interests. I just don't think about special interests. The public's interest is number one. Demands and high expectations from the public are my biggest challenges. I need to meet them as soon as possible. They give me headaches, but I'm still happy.
That's the news. If you have question or suggestion, you can visit at www.bbcnews.com. Thank you for watching. See you and goodbye.